Russo'sBrand.com.
What does everybody want?
Where the pros are the pros.
Well, Finn Balor was on What's the Story podcast, and they asked him to compare WWE's creative process now from when he started with the company. And he said there's definitely been a difference from when I started to now. Triple H is a little more laid back with the verbiage versus Vince would want you to hit these specific words. When I started, I didn't have the self-confidence to say to the writer I was working with, hey, I would never say this. Let me use a word that I would use back in Bray, where he's from, I guess. I've had a lot more leeway and freedom and input in what I'm actually saying than just being given a script and go read that word for word. Now they give me the promos. It's basically in bullet points. Like I'll tell them, just give me the bullet points and I'll get all those bullet points in, but I'm going to say it in the way I would say it. And that helps a lot.
And that is really, in my opinion, the best way to do it. Is to just give the talent the specific points you need, talking points, and then let them develop the way that they integrate those points into their promos. I think the worst scripted promo I'd honestly had ever seen was the time that Randy Orton went out there and was, you could clearly see that it was or hear and feel that it was a scripted promo by Randy addressing his father being inducted in the Hall of Fame. And, and it came across so wooden and so hollow. And I'm like, boy, if this is not an example of why you shouldn't script promos for professional wrestlers, then I don't know what is. I mean, he's literally talking about his father being inducted in the Hall of Fame, and it comes across so plastic and so pedantic. I mean, just like, ugh. It was terrible.
What was that? What was that word?
Pedantic.
What is that? What did you just make that up on a fly?
No. If you look at the dictionary, there's a picture of you living your life. It says pedantic right there.
My God. Al, I got to tell you, first of all, let me say this. Finn, bullet points or scripted word for word, your promos suck, bro. So nothing's changed. Let's first put that out there. Second of all, Al, I agree with Al 1,000%, bro. You've got
a lot of venom there.
Well, I'm just being honest. Al, let me tell you something. First of all, I'm going to say
what would you direct Finn to make him better?
He's hard. Hire an acting coach. Hire an acting coach, bro. Instead of playing video games, instead of spending your money on video games, use some of that money to hire an acting coach.
But here's the thing. Like, we have a professional actor who comes in and works with the kids at the academy, home of lots of syllabi, nothing but work rate, and helps them, but doesn't really give them acting lessons on-screen camera presentation. He gives them a direction and a method to develop and turn up who they are. Because the wrestlers aren't actors,
that's why they go to an acting coach.
But then they can't act. I mean, you can go to a coach all you want, and it doesn't work. You have to take and manifest who you really are, and turn that up for it to come across and connect. That's where a guy like you're saying with Finn, he must not be able right now still, because that really is one of the hardest things for a talent to develop, and it is the one crux that will either make them into a star or make them into just another run-of-the-mill talent. And that is developing that aspect of themselves, that persona, that personality, and being able to amp it up and not just be able to deliver it physically through their body language, but also through their ability to speak. And that really, it's, some people spend their whole careers not able to do that. That's why we used to have, two reasons, male managers to accompany, had managers to accompany the wrestlers out. One was because it was kind of a retirement program for some of the older boys. And two, it was also, because some of the talent really just could never deliver, couldn't talk somebody into the building.
Well, the two things about this, that I just want to point out. Number one, bro, I swear, listen, whatever he's done, whatever he hasn't done, whatever he's guilty of, whatever he's innocent of. I am so sick and tired of hearing all these WWF employees now just bury Vince McMahon. I God forbid the guy ever comes back. Good luck. Good luck, because every one of these things he's documented that everybody has said. Number two, Al, because Al, now this works the other way. Because Vince McMahon told you to say this word for word, and Triple H is more relaxed. Al, when you watch the in-rings now, and there's two people having dialogue, yes, bro, you could tell you are more relaxed. You are ad-libbing. And, bro, they go so off track, bro, that all of a sudden a promo that's supposed to be here, like you said, Al, to put asses in seats, all of a sudden becomes this. Al, less is more. The more they talk, the more they're losing the crowd, the less that is being sold. So it works both ways. You can overproduce, you can also underproduce, Al.
True, and there needs to be a bit of a balance, And when you sometimes I think they do the in-rings, and we just need to put these two guys in here and that'll be for a way for the talent to interact. But a lot of those magical moments worked back in the day, which brings us back to the whole, structure of the way they pay and etc. Was because a lot of the talent were so competitive with each other, and they would go out in the ring, and then they would literally, when they had the opportunity to think, they were, quite honestly, Triple H was trying to bury The Rock because he was jealous. They had that rivalry, and The Rock was not going to let him do it and was firing back and was going to, and they purposely went on their own to kind of prepare material that they could zing each other with, and you could feel the legit tension between them. The same with The Rock and Steve Austin, and they were all trying to upstage or get over more than the other person because it was so ultra competitive. It bled out into the arena, and in the ring, and I think that wasn't because of Vince. That was the way. Yeah. The wrestling business was so much of a struggle to get to and stay at the top and be the guy. And I think a lot of that, like we've discussed in the past, I think a lot of that's kind of gone away. Yeah. Because of the pay structure that is there now. Now we're wanting to build, because the real point of an in-ring between two talent is to build that tension, that expectation of, boy, I just can't wait to see these two go at it, because they clearly apparently hate each other so much, and it's palpable. You can feel that in an arena, no doubt about it, But when you don't want to offend the other guy, you don't want to get heat in the locker room, you don't want to cause problems because you don't want to get fired. Well,
absolutely. It takes the edge off.
It takes the edge off of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's more what you're wanting. Even when a talent does a promo on their own, just a backstage stand up, do a promo, there's got to be there's that real feeling of like, I want to get over on this guy, that comes across as, I want to beat this person, which technically they do. They want to beat him at the game. They want to beat him and get more over than the other guys so they can be at the top of the heap. But that's kind of been lost, due to, and I think that's why Vince was not defending him, and I'm not necessarily just wanting to agree with what he did, because I do think overproducing the talents is far worse than even underproducing the talent. But I do think that that's what he was trying to get that talent to recapture. And did not want to rely on, the talent themselves being able to do it.
Yo, bro, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, there's plenty more where that came from. As a matter of fact, right now, if you've never been a Patreon subscriber, you can go to patreon.com/RussoTWC and grab a free week of Russo's brand. That's right, it's free. Patreon.com/RussoTWC.
What's up, brand? This is Jeff Lane inviting you to come hang out with me over on Twitch. I'm live several nights a week playing games, classic and new, currently going through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the new Contra game, and more. So check me out, Jeff Lane 22 on Twitch.
Pick up Mike Durbin's Conan action figure, bro. Look how beautiful this thing is. I freaking love the packaging, man. Look at this. MikeDurbin.com, guys. Help Mike out, man. This is a beautiful action figure, bro. Beautiful. MikeDurbin.com.